Hey guys, so today I'm going to be bringing you another no BS quick FPS boost guide for Marvel Rivals. This also applies to other video games to boost FPS. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing is you're going to want to go to settings, type in game bar over here in the top left. You're going to see game bar. You're going to want to make sure this is off because this will siphon FPS if you keep it on. Now you're going to look up game. You're going to find game mode. Click game mode. Make sure this is turned on. As you can see, this says optimize your PC for blah blah blah, and that'll work. So next you're going to want to type in graphics settings, and the first thing we're going to do here is click change default graphics settings, and we're going to want to make sure that each of these is actually turned on. So hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, variable refresh rate, and optimizations for windowed games. Now some of these might require you to restart your PC before you before they take effect, so just keep that in mind. Next, we're going to go back to click graphics here, and you guys are probably going to have to click browse here, but I'm just going to show you. So I already did this. This is what it's going to look like afterward. So this is the location that you want to go to in your settings. So you're going to want to find your Steam folder, your Steam apps, common, Marvel Rivals, blah blah blah. You guys can follow this, right? Just make sure you can find your Steam directory and then go through each of these folders and then select the Marvel-Win64-shipping.exe, and then it'll add here. Then what you're going to want to do from here is select options and click high performance and then click save, and this will boost your FPS. The next thing that we can do is download a software called MSI Afterburner. This is what it looks like, and this is what the icon looks like down here. Basically all this software does is it allows you to overclock your GPU, which is really helpful whenever we want extra FPS. There is a little process of getting it set up though, which is figuring out what our overclock numbers should look like. So this is our core clock speed and the memory clock speed. These are the main things we're looking at. And what I would recommend doing is turning these up by increments of maybe like 50 or 25 or 100, depending kind of on how new or old your GPU is. If your GPU is a little bit newer, then you can probably overclock a little bit more. But here are my numbers. This is what mine looks like and what I always play with whenever I want to overclock. And I click the checkmark button and that saves it. And this will just basically allow your GPU to print that extra 5 or 10% FPS that you really are looking for. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to overclock this, and then once you overclock it so much to the point where your GPU actually can't handle it, your screen's going to start like flickering, which is completely fine. But you need to know once you hit that number, you're going to want to go back to be conservative so that you can actually not have that happen whenever things get intense graphically in the game you're playing. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I'll link the download down below. It's just MSI Afterburner. Alright guys, so I did go through this in my last video, but I'm going to go through this again to really emphasize how you can maximize your FPS with this. So what you're going to want to do is make sure you're on full screen, have NVIDIA DLSS on, and you can either go performance or ultra performance depending on how much you're looking to maximize your FPS. And what you'll probably find is this really doesn't make a huge difference in terms of the actual FPS you're going to get. Next is frame generation mode off. Low latency mode, you want to turn this on if you have it. If you don't have it, it probably means you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card. If you do, then I'm not sure why it doesn't show up there. Next, scroll all the way down. Basically here, everything on low, and make sure this is at the bottom and this is at the bottom. Something I've noticed happening to me, guys, is that every time I restart my game or my PC, I think it's texture detail or shadow detail will be all the way up on ultra. So make sure you're checking your graphics settings. I'm not sure if there's a way to make it so that it doesn't automatically change that, but it definitely dips my FPS by like 30 or 40. So make sure that you're checking your graphics settings to make sure that something didn't automatically go up to like high or ultra or something. And that's how you're going to boost your FPS, just through these settings.